So let's look at another one. There are a lot of miracles of the food. I'm really cutting it down. I'm just mention one more. Uh, there's another miracle of the food that was involved. Jabir radiallahu anhu's house now this time. Again, we heard this miracle, miracles related to Jabir many times now. So who can remember what other miracles was performed that involved Jabir radiallahu anhu? I think we did until now 2 or so, right? You remember the story when his father was martyred in Battle of Uhud and left a lot of sisters, and that the camel was very slow and Rasulullah hit it and it became fast. That was the Jabir radiallahu anhu. He was very young, in teens when that happened. And then the story of that, the pile of dates, heap of dates, how he had to give it back to the lenders, and it was blessed and it never got decreased. So that was Jabir. Now this is the third time something miracle is going to happen. So this was the time, around the same time what about the marriage of Zainab radiallahu anha. This was during the time of Battle of Trench. So just a brief background, I won't go into too much detail, but Battle of Trench, till now we had battles like Battle of Badr and Uhud and some little skirmishes here and there. Now Quraysh, the pagan Meccans, they wanted to completely wipe out Muslims. They said, that's it, it's enough now. We not only have to defeat them, but just completely wipe them out. So they came and they wanted to attack the Muslim forces and have one very decisive battle. So they were about like 10,000 people, and Muslims were almost maybe like at the max 3,000 people in Medina. So they came and they wanted to attack Muslims. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he figured out that now this is a very huge army, never faced before. 10,000 is a lot, much more than Battle of Badr and Uhud. So he was advised by Salman al-Farsi radiallahu anhu that he gave an idea that instead of fighting them in the battle in the outside like in Badr or Uhud, we should dig trenches across the Medina. So the Medina was like, it can be approached from 4 sides. They just dig trench from like one side, because from the other 3 sides it is very difficult to attack, because the mountains or agricultural lands, or an army cannot go through that very easily. So he said they are obviously going to come from this path, and he said that we should dug trenches. So Rasulullah liked that idea, and he told that the entire Medinian boundary should be dug, the trenches should be dug, and it is said that it was about almost 5,000 feet long, the distance that they had to dig, and the trench was like almost about 10 feet deep, and width-wise it was like almost 9 feet wide. So it's not easy to cross over that trench. So it's pretty wide, and everybody, we're talking about the whole city now, right? So everybody was involved in digging, and just like 10 feet to dig 10 feet in height and width, the 10 people were involved. So a lot of people were digging, and even Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was involved in digging. It's a hard job. It's not easy. So anyways, they did this job for like 1 week, 2 weeks. They were continuously digging it out. And now Jabir radiallahu anhu, he sees that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is working hard and digging the trench, and he sees him in a lot of hunger. He looks very hungry. Sometimes you can see directly from the face that the person is very hungry. And these times still, Muslims were not well off. They were living very, very tough life. They didn't have, it became better towards the end, but this time there was still a lot of scarcity. Many Muslims had this problem. So Jabir radiallahu anhu, he said that, I should give something to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he checked his house, and there was like 1 sa' of barley. So he said, I can do that. And he also had a domestic goat. He thought that I should slaughter it and give it to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he can eat to his fill, so that he's not hungry anymore. So he told the plan to his wife, and the wife said, okay, I'll make it. But she said, do not disgrace me in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and those who are with him. So basically she's saying that don't bring too many people because I'll look very bad, sometimes if the food is not sufficient, the host looks very bad, so isn't it? So she said, do not disgrace me in front of the Prophet. He said, okay. Jabir went to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and he told him secretly that, Ya Rasulullah, I have barley, I have a goat, I want to slaughter it and give it to you, and please come. So Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he raised his voice. He said, O people of the trench, Jabir has prepared a meal, so let us all go. So it's now broadcasting it to everybody, and Jabir was like wondering, what should I do now? Not only the food is not going to be sufficient, my wife is going to be very angry at me. So when he reached the house, his wife figured out that lots and lots of people are coming. She said, may Allah do so and so to you. She was angry. So Jabir radiallahu anhu told her that I told what you told me to tell to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but this is what happened. He was the one who did it. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told Jabir that when you go into the house, do not move anything. Do not remove that earthenware pot where you're cooking meat. Do not remove it from fire. Just keep it as is, and keep the barley as is as well. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam directly came into the kitchen where they were cooking, and he spat in the dough of barley, and he also spat in that earthenware where that meat was being cooked. So, and he made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for blessings in that food. And so it is said that 1,000 people showed up in the house of Jabir, and all of those people ate from that. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told her that just take out scoop by scoop this meat, and whenever they took out, it was not decreasing, it was just bubbling up and up, and it was the same until they ate everything. All 1,000 people ate, and when they left, Jabir radiallahu anhu said that it was so much remaining that I even gifted a lot to my neighbors also. So that was one amazing miracle. So it's a lot now, 1,000. Last time it was 300, now it's 1,000. It's amazing. So now, the miracles, sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to prove the prophethood. Sometimes miracles are to serve the need of the people, right? Because now Muslims are hungry. So Rasulullah realized that I'm not the only one who's hungry. I have to help out these other Muslims too. So Rasulullah helped everybody eat a lot. And sometimes miracles are sent to strengthen the iman of the people, right? So there are many reasons why miracles are performed. So the miracles of food were performed many times because during those early 6-7 years, it was very difficult time for Muslims. So this barakah of food was very common miracle. Let's look at another one.
There's no miracle to strengthen our iman.
These miracles, that's the reason that why we are doing these miracles, that when we read about these miracles, inshallah, these miracles have that blessing of increasing our iman. So we have to believe in these miracles, do not doubt them, and understand it. Of course, our level of iman won't increase like the ones who witnessed it directly. But when we listen to these stories, it like strengthens it. Because some people, they have like doubts here and there, maybe he's a prophet, maybe he's not. So when you listen to all these miracles, it like your iman shoots up and all doubts are removed, inshallah.